What's up, VC? Todd Dye, the Thrashing Zombie here. It's 2019, continuing my 50 years of my favorite albums. 2019, like I said, 6 years ago, right? Yeah, 6 years ago, counting my fingers. Also the year I started making videos for YouTube, for the vinyl community. March 2nd, 2019 was my first video. So 6 months and 6 years and 1 month ago, I started my vinyl community and YouTube journey. I'll put a link to that first video up above. Or is it over there? I can't remember which. Somewhere. Yeah. If you want to check out how it was my first video. Very different setup in the background. Anyway, let's get on with this. 2 CDs, a bunch of records. First one is this Cattle Decapitation Death Atlas. The funny thing is, this came out 2019, and they have a song on here called Bring Back the Plague. And they released a homemade video of it in 2020. I think this was released later in the year, 2019. So, while everybody was in lockdown, they did a video, each from their own house or apartment or wherever they were. And then they stitched it all together into a video for Bring Back the Plague. They were playing instruments on like buckets, I think, or the couches or chairs or something, whatever they could find. It was kind of a humorous video in a way. Not my favorite Cattle Decapitation album. Pretty good. There's a lot of things between the songs that I wasn't really a fan of. Kind of took me out of the experience of the music. But, you know, it's whatever. And then another one. Was this really 2019? It was. Overkill, The Wings of War. Last Man Standing, Head of a Pin, Batshit Crazy's on here. I think 2019 is when I saw these guys live, and I think I brought this album with the guy I went with because he hadn't heard the new album yet. Out on the Roadkill, Home of My Soul, Welcome to the Garden State. Pretty good Overkill album. Pretty much everything they've been doing in the 20,000s, the 2000s, 2010s, 2020. Actually, this was the last album, wasn't it? I don't think they put anything else since 2019. If I remember correctly. No studio album anyway. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're pretty good stuff. So, let's see the records. A lot of really great album covers this year as well for some of these albums. A few bands that made comebacks. 1 or 2 bands I thought were new bands, and they had been around actually for a while. This is a band I knew. It's kind of a comeback album. This was Possessed, Revelations of Oblivion. Sort of like Onslaught's Generation Antichrist. Haven't released an album in a few years. Or was it Onslaught had put out a few in the 2000s? I think Onslaught did. This Possessed hadn't put one out for quite a while. I think, is this a band with a lead singer is in a wheelchair? I don't remember. I have so much shit in my head that I don't even know. Yeah, it's this one. He's in a wheelchair in that picture. Chant of Oblivion, No More Room in Hell, Dominion, Damn, Demon, Abandon, Shadow Cults, great song, Omen, Ritual, The Word, Graven, Temple of Samal, Not for, well, you can listen to it if you want. Not very Christian or Catholic friendly, I guess. But I like it, so. Sorry. Coughing away here. And then Tomb Mold Planetary Clairvoyance. Let me see that, can you? It's very bright today. Not sunny, mind you, but bright. A lot of stuff going on here. Some science fiction-y type death metal. Beg for Life. Planetary Clairvoyance. They grow inside Part 2. Where's Part 1? Phosphorine Ultimate. Infinite Resurrection. Accelerative Phenomenae. Cerulean Salvation. Cerulean Salvation. Heat Death. Just a band I freaking came across and just, wow, it's just a lot going on. Bandcamp.com album. Got a couple of those in here. Creeping Death Resolution. Sounds like 80s death metal, or 80s or 90s death metal. Kind of Floridian death metal. Ripping Through Flesh. Captivity, Bloodlust, Contamination. Sinner's Torch. Corroded from Within. Peeled from Reality. World Decay. Wretched Illusions. Dawn of Time. And Consumed. They released another album as well. This is one of those ones I have to listen to again. I'm actually going through trying to listen to albums I haven't listened to in a while, so because I only have so much time in the day. Another Bandcamp.com album. This was a huge release, sold out. This is a third press, I believe, maybe second. I don't remember. This is Wraith, Absolute Power. Devil's Hour, Acid Mass, Meaningless Planet, The Curse, War of Aggression, At the Stake, The Hunt, Eyes of the Sacred Room, Absolute Power, Death Comes Ripping, which is the Misfits cover. This is thrashy speed, blackened thrash. I don't know. It's heavy metal, man. Extreme heavy metal. Really good shit. Let's check that out if you haven't. And yet another, I have quite a few Bandcamp albums on here from Bandcamp. Another great cover, Zoth, Interdimensional Invocations. I really love, this is like another sci-fi type death metal band. Casting the Sigil, Mountain Machines, Back to the Jungle, Unseen Abductor, Haruspex, Plague Revival 20XX, The Ghost Hand of God, Melted Face of the Soul. Maybe it's not science fiction-y, maybe it's just more, I don't know, something. Anyway, it looks science fiction-y by the cover. Yeah, Zoth, man. Great band. A lot of good bands on Bandcamp.com. Here's another one. Nucleus, Entity. Not as good as those other ones I've shown. Funny story about this. I bought the cassette first because, cassettes are cheaper. And I was like, I'll buy the cassette. It's fine. It was fucked up. It didn't really work. This is sci-fi type shit, though. Arrival, Entity, Uplift, Mobilization, Approach, Outpost, Dominion, Time Chasm. As you can see, because it's got like a spaceship and shit. Really, this Nucleus, Actually, bought a shirt from these guys as well. Support your small bands. Hath of Rot and Ruin. Very simplistic cover here. Just a snowy like background with like a skeleton of a deer. Gets the point across though. Usurpation, currents, rituals to atone, withered, worlds within, kindling, accursed, and progeny. Death metal, of course. This is one I bought after another one. This was like their first album. The other one will be showing up. More kind of science fiction-y shit. Blood Incantation. Hidden History of the Human Race. Slave Species of the Gods. The Giza Power Plant. Inner Path to Outer Space. Awakening from the Dream of Existence. Oh, this is all one song, basically. It's Awakening. 1, from the Dream of Existence. 2, to the multidimensional nature of our reality. And 3, Mirror of the Soul. There's basically, I mean, it's 7 songs, technically. But yeah, this is the first one I bought. Time Wave Zero. I know they're trying something different, but I'm not a fan of that because it wasn't like this. You know, whatever. Gate Creeper, Deserted. Amazing freaking old sounding but new sounding death metal. From Relapse. I think their first album was a self-release, and this one Relapse picked them up. I could be wrong though. They're definitely fans of death metal because look at their shirts. Bands I've never even heard of there. So, Deserted, Puncture Wounds, From the Ashes, Ruthless, Everlasting, Barbaric Pleasures, Sweltering Madness, Boiled Over, In Chains, Absence of Light. They got huge very quickly with their first album and then this one. And then they did a shorter like EP type thing, I think during COVID. Maybe, might have been after COVID. Yeah, Gate Creeper. Really like the Gate Creeper. Here's a band. Didn't really listen to. This is an older band. Didn't really listen to when I was younger. This is kind of a comeback album as well. Ex-Hoarder. More in the Southern Skies. And yes, I know I haven't had any Ex-Hoarder on the list back in the day. I don't think. From like the 80s into the 90s. Like, Slaughter the Vatican. Was it Slaughter the Vatican? I don't remember. But yeah, More Than Southern Skies. More updated sound. Still sounds like Ex-Hoarder though. My Time, Asunder, Hallowed Sound. Beware the Wolf, Yesterday's Bones, All She Wrote, Rumination, The Arms of Man, Ripping Flesh, and then apparently a long song called More in the Southern Skies. Did it say More in More in the Skies? More in the Southern Skies. Yeah, so pretty nice. And this is a band I thought was a new band, and I bought it for the cover and I listened to it a little bit and I'm like, oh, I think I had mentioned that when I showed this in a vinyl pickups or whatever, that this is a new band, blah blah blah. I got a lot of people saying no, they've been around since the 80s. So I had to go and look. I didn't do any research ahead of time. And yes, they've been around since the 80s. Bury the pain, there will be consequences. Bleeding out, the truth lies buried. Let the world burn, the red mist descends. World of mouth, deathless and divine. The one you fear, evil by design. Is this as good as their older stuff? I don't think it is. But it's still good. And then my second favorite band ever. Overkill was my third, by the way. Death Angel, Humanicide. I also saw this band, these guys with Overkill. Not my favorite Death Angel album, but it's good nonetheless. Humanicide, Divine Defector, Aggressor, I Came for Blood, Immortal Be Hated, Alive and Scream in the Pack, Ghost of Me, Revelation Song, of Rats and Men. It's another one of those albums where it's 2 records, only 3 sides get used. The other one has an etching, which really I hate. Throw some. Actually, it doesn't even have an etching on it, does it? Oh, yeah, it does. If you really look, it's got a wolf on it. Probably won't be able to see it. Yeah, you can't see that on there. Anyway, yeah, throw some cover songs on there or some live tracks. It's just you're wasting the space. You could throw some other shit on there. It's annoying, really annoying. So anyway, that's it. 2019, 3 years left, 3 weeks, and then we're done finally. So yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Till next time, rock on.